everyone, welcome back to Breaking Bread with Bjorn, the baking show where I make my world famous bread, but I add different mystery ingredients just to see what will happen. I'm going to unveil that mystery ingredient in just a second here. But first, let's go through the ingredients that I use in the base recipe. Bread is so easy to make at home, folks. Anybody can do it. But if you want to make the best quality bread, you have to use what I consider to be one of the best quality flours, Wheat Montana all-purpose flour. I have experimented with a ton of different flours over the last couple years for baking pies, for baking breads, for all types of stuff. This one sets the bar high and never lets me down. That's Wheat Montana. Not a sponsor of the show yet, but maybe if I show it enough, they will be. Water. That's right. Right from the tap. Oh, you can't see the Bjorn Johnson Internet Program logo on there, but it is, of course, my trusty sourdough starter. This one has changed a little bit since the last time I made it. I'm now at 100% hydration. You don't need to know what that means, but if you want to Google it, you'll figure it out. Still the same base formula, just a little more liquid added to it. Tools to make this bread. You got to have a trusty mixing bowl. You don't have to have one this fancy, but it helps. This was made for me by a good friend of mine who does amazing pottery work. And a good quality kitchen scale. Wrong scale. That's my college scale. A good quality kitchen scale. There we go. I can't emphasize enough the importance of weighing out your ingredients when you're baking, and it makes life so much easier for doing conversions, for just making sure that everything is accurate. Use a good quality kitchen scale. If you need to find one, let me know. I'll send you a link. All right. What do you say we unveil the mystery ingredient? Last week, we did wine cooler bread, and much to my surprise, it turned out really good. I actually ate most of the loaf, gave some away to some friends. They enjoyed it. It made a great peanut butter sandwich. So staying in kind of the fruit theme, I've got this beautiful brown fruit cereal. I don't know if I can use the brand name of it, but if you go to the store, you can find it. There's a toucan on the box. That's right. I'm going to be mixing some of this into the bread, topping it, baking it, and seeing what in the world will happen. What do you say we jump on into mixing this loaf up? All right, it was a successful bake. Maybe got a little bit too done on top. The cereal burnt a little bit, but overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Let's cut into this loaf and see what happened. I'm hoping that it's got kind of this beautiful stained glass effect to it, but who knows? It could have all turned into some big brown mess. I can't wait. All right, it's just about time to try this thing. What do you say? Of course, as always, I have a generous spread of Amish butter on here. That's pretty good, actually. I'm pretty surprised. I didn't expect this to be remotely edible. Was hoping that I could at least take a bite without wanting to gag. And it's actually a really good bread. Fruit cereal. Who'd have known, right? Again, I got that beautiful coloration in there. That's what I was going for. It actually rose real nicely. I've got a nice structure to the bread, a good medium crust. That's what I was going for. A nice bounce to it or squishiness to it. I don't know. You know what good bread's like. And I'm telling you, this right here, that's pretty solid bread. Not sure what I'd use this loaf for if I'd make it on a real regular basis. Probably a peanut butter sandwich. It was to see what would happen when I added another grain, specifically fruit cereal in there. I didn't make any major adjustments to the flour content, added a little bit more water. Something strange that happened while cooking it and letting it go through its process. Again, not cooking it, but letting it raise and fold and that whole thing you got to do. The fruit cereal actually shrunk way down and then puffed up. My biggest concern was that it was just going to puff way up, and that would make a really funky loaf, even more so than it turned out. But they shrunk down, then puffed up back to normal size. When I baked them, they actually stayed about the size they were and gave me this beautiful color. The fruit cereal is not real prominent in flavor. Of course, on the top, where I covered it with it, you get that. It works well. What can I say? A successful experiment. It worked out, and I got an edible loaf. So there you go. Thank you so much for checking out this week's edition of Breaking Bread with Bjorn. If you have any ideas or suggestions as to what I should put in a loaf, let me know. Not saying I'll use it, but who knows? I got some ideas, but the more the merrier. If you really enjoyed this, hit that subscribe button right below and help show some support. You can find me on my podcast, the Bjorn Johnson Internet Program. Check out tbjip.com. No, that's not the website. What am I saying? Check out northstar.net. There we go. Or bjorntosell.com. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, be kind to one another.